All right, the thumb. So I'm going to tap the Z key. We'll zoom out here, try to find. So I think these three images here are probably going to be the most informative as to what's going on. So I'm going to flip the reference and we'll zoom in here. Tap Z to drop it. And just to kind of clear the visual clutter a little bit. See, so I want to start working over there. So go ahead and hide the fingers that I don't need. Plate tubes. So this is a fairly prominent thing right here, and it seems like it's mostly missing currently. So just use clay tubes to kind of throw it in there. I have a little bit of a, I'm sort of seeing like this divot here. So I'll use clay tubes to remove that stuff. And then I kind of want to have like a very nice, if you imagine the lines on this, if you were to just draw lines on the surface, it's just a very nice transition. That might be a little bit too much thumb meat there. We can always add it back in if we need to. Right now I want to make sure I've got this knuckle area here, and then it just gets really kind of thin, right? We have this volume there. So I will probably use the dam standard to kind of tighten that up, but for now I can actually just remove back the stuff here. It's all just clay tubes at this point. And then I want to help transition it up over that surface, and then we'll use the flat 404 square alpha. Just to come in and clean it up. So here I am actually looking at the reference just to make sure that what I'm developing is actually pretty close to what's supposed to be there. You can kind of get down and look at it from this angle. One thing worth mentioning is I don't know, let me see if I hit Control D. Yeah, so if I tried to add a subdivision now, it will not let me because I don't have the entire mesh visible, which is nice. It's looking a little bit uneven, so we'll just make it a little bit more consistent and then try to figure out. It's not super flat there. Just going to use the flatten brush to kind of guess about where that stuff might start to happen. And with this kind of situation, it's not a bad idea to turn on backface masking just because that is kind of on the thin side, and it would be disappointing to flatten it out and discover that you'd collapsed this area. So it's pretty easy to avoid it. Having two thumbs that are sitting in the exact same space can be a little bit of a challenge when you're trying to look at the side of what the thumb looks like. But it's not that big of a deal. So I see kind of a central form that probably comes along the top and then like tapers down to that first knuckle. So I'm gonna I'll use the dam standard here just to kind of illustrate the structure that I'm trying to build. Kind of under the surface, but you see we get this like, you know, soft transition in and out of, and I definitely don't want that. So I'm going to fill this area in with clay tubes, just walking right up to that point we got from the dam standard brush, and then I'm going to fill it in over here. And then use the flatten 404 to come in and clean it up a little bit. So here we're starting to get some of that good planar information. I'm going to add a little more volume kind of through here. And just relax that. There's like a little bit of a divot there. So we'll use the move brush. And I'm going to kind of tuck it in under here a little bit. And pretty soon here I'll turn the hand back on. Make the rest of it visible. So now we're starting to get a little bit of that last knuckle on the thumb. And let's take a look at it from this side, which will be that view. So you can see where it kind of flattens out there. I'm actually going to use the clay tubes brush and just kind of lightly come in and erode that down a little bit. Because I do feel like I got a pretty nice bulge on this side. In fact, it's almost like an S, right? So that tells me I need to probably scoot this stuff over just a little bit. And I don't see as much of a bend here. There's one, but it's not quite that intense, so I'm going to use the move brush just to kind of dial that in a little bit. Okay. So now let's quickly hop over to this view. Because I added some volume here, but it looks like it might be just a little bit too much. Probably needs to lift up a little bit back there. And with the damn standard, we can kind of begin to figure out where these features are. All right, let's see how this looks in context. A little better, and we will continue developing the thumb in the next video.